All right, so as far as this group goes, this is a test group. So the reason that this is a little bit extra special for you to be in this group is because the program doesn't actually launch until October 1st, but you get to start it early because your coach, or I have given you early access to it. So it is a test group. And the goal of this group is to roll out our results first. Not that you have to show any pictures of you in a bikini or your sports bra, but just so that we can see your results, whether that's just you telling us how much weight you lost or how many inches you lost or whatever that is, so that I can share that with people and so that you guys can share that with people before October 1st when it truly rolls out. So this is still a test group, even though it has been launched for early VIP access. So it's incredibly important because it is a test group that you check in to the challenge group. There will be some posts that ask you to participate, and I will never ask you or make you share progress photos. Those are always welcome. But I will ask you sometimes to share like a non-scale victory or just something. Oh my gosh, he is so cute. Oh my gosh. Anyways, a non-scale victory or just anything, any success you've had for that week. And then I don't require, like I said, I don't require you to share it, but I do require you to put it in the app where only I can see it. So no one else will be able to see your before pics unless you share them into the group. But as far as the settings go in the app, I do need you to post your before picture and your before measurement so that at the end we can compare. And then what's even better is at the end is if you have taken those pictures and you have kept your measurements and your weight, you get to enter the Beachbody Challenge, which is, first of all, you do have potential to actually win money, but you also will get a free tank top. So, I mean, who doesn't want a free tank top that says the LIIFT4 on it? Okay, so I did watch a video that Joel put in the coach test group, and he was talking about basically how he came up with LIIFT4, why it's important, and then your mindset behind it. And it was actually something I needed to hear too, so I was really glad to see this video. But he was talking about how like this LIIFT4, lifting 4 days a week and doing these HIIT workouts 4 days a week is how you used to do it. Like there was not 6 days a week of working out or 7 days a week. And he's honestly, he even mentioned it. He goes, I love 80-day obsession, but a lot of you guys are overtraining. You're overtraining your body, and you are you need to rest. Like you need to be able to absolutely smash your workout 4 days a week to the point where the next day when you do have a recovery day, you can't even wash your hair. Like that's the goal. And he said, you know, like a lot of us were holding back in the 80-day obsession and we weren't doing the best thing for our muscles. And so it's good to come out of a season like that. It's fine to do that for 80 days, but then it's good to come back into a season where you are taking some time off and truly giving your body some recovery time. He did make sure to note that you do not sit around on those days. This is not like a rest day where you're like, oh, I'm just going to sit on the couch and binge on Netflix. This is where you can go on a hike with your family. You can go for a walk, go a bike ride, go swimming. I'm personally going to be trying to learn how to dance with Shaun T in Size. That's my goal, is 1 day a week I want to do that because I've always wanted to do that program, but I like lifting too much to just do a dance program. So I'm going to incorporate 1 day a week of that. So it's literally just whatever you want to do. He just recommends that you don't pick up weights on your rest day. You can still do a small workout. You can do yoga or a stretch video somewhere, but just don't pick up any weights. Let's see. One thing that he did say, like, if you look at any other program, they're like, do not change the schedule. You do what the schedule says, which is right here. You should have gotten one of these in the mail, or you can print it off on from your program materials. But usually they will say, do not, you know, if you miss a day, like, don't go back and do it. Like, you just got to keep going with the next day. You are allowed to, as long as you keep them in order, you are allowed to mix these up. So like his example was, there's a lot of nurses that are Beachbody coaches and that are challengers as well. And, you know, they'll work for 3 days for 16-hour shifts and then have 4 days off or whatever. And so they will be doing their workouts on those 4 days. They're not going to spread it out the way that it has on the calendar. And he said, that's okay. that this is the type of program where you can work it into your life. So there was that. And then in the challenge group, so because of that, I will be posting based on this calendar, but don't feel bad if you're getting your chest and triceps day done on Tuesday instead of Monday. All right. So I'll be posting the way that this calendar says, but don't be like, oh my goodness, I'm doing it wrong, just because you're having to mix up your days a little bit. That's totally fine. And then he said, like, I've said this again, you are to absolutely push to failure on these. Like, a lot of times I'm really guilty of this, like with 80-Day Obsession or just any program I've ever done. I don't give every single rep my all because I'm like, I know what's coming next. This type of lifting, and he calls it old school lifting, is where you literally up your weights. As long as you can keep form, you literally up your weights until your arms like won't go up again, which is called lifting to failure, which feels like, because we hate the word failure, it feels like failure, but really what you're doing is you're training your muscles to go further. They're going to endure more each time if you can push them to failure like that. I don't like pushing myself to failure because, like I said, it feels like failure. And because I don't like to think about having to do the workout that's coming next. But he said, absolutely push your hardest and lift heavier than you've ever lifted, because these recovery days are going to allow you to do that. So I'm loving that idea of like pushing as hard as I can, because I know I get a rest day the next day. I know I can recover before that comes back. So there was that. He did say, and I was going to say this anyway, throw what you know about exercise and even all other Beachbody programs out the window and follow this program the way that it calls you to. So I know, like, I'm having a really hard time coming off of 80-Day Obsession thinking I have to work out for 45 to 60 minutes every day, and that I have to do time nutrition, and that I have to do things a certain way, because if I'm backing off, that means I'm going to lose my gains or whatever. Like, it's killing me to not do a booty day when I've worked so hard to get any type of booty at all after being a mom, because mom butt is so real. So, but he's like, don't do it. Do not pick up weights on those days that you're not supposed to pick up weights. And he said, definitely do not double up on workouts. So a lot of coaches were saying, oh, well, then what I'll do is on leg day, I'll also do booty right after. And he's like, absolutely not. That is not the point. The point is to push to failure. He goes, I promise you won't lose what you've worked so hard to get. So we have to trust the process. I am in this with you 100% of just trusting the process. Now, some of you are in this group, you are runners, so you can run on your days off, and I know you're going to have to overlap some days where you're running and doing a workout, and that's fine. He actually has a lot of coaches and a lot of challengers that are training for half marathons as well. This will only help you in both arenas. Weightlifting helps running, and running helps weightlifting. So this is good. That's good. It's fine that you are doubling up in workouts that way. Because it's really not good for you to only run and not lift any weights. So that's totally fine. You can meet both of those goals by doing it this way. As far as the nutrition, it's really, really basic. You should have gotten this book, but if you don't have it, you can print off the PDF from the program materials on Beachbody On Demand. But it's very, very basic. And he used to actually make you, or I shouldn't say he, Beachbody used to actually make you do this like mathematic equation to find what category you would fit in, so which plan of these you would fit in. But now it is just, if you are 168 pounds or less, you're plan A, and you just go based on your weight. Now, Joel says this, I'll say this, pretty much all coaches and all super trainers will say this. Plan A is not a lot of food. It's just not. And I did it, so I'll just give you my own personal experience with it, and then let you guys kind of figure out what to do for yourself. So when I first started, I was in my goal weight, but my body was just all out of whack because I had a kid, and unbeknownst to me, I was also pregnant again, and I had no idea. So my body was all out of whack, And I wasn't trying to lose weight, but I thought that's what you were supposed to do. Like, I thought if you were going to tone up, you had to lose weight. And I was wrong. So, but I did my calorie calculations and I put myself in the deficit and I put myself in plan A. For the first week, it was fine. But within that second week, I was like, I'm really hungry. I'm really, really hungry. What should I do? Oh my goodness. And the issue is because I was burning so many calories and because my muscles were responding to the workout so well, I was hungry and I was legitimately hungry.
I've had
So
that this week, like, so bad.
do what?
I've had that this week, like, so bad. Like, last week I was like, I'd drink Shakeology for breakfast and it'd be like 2 p.m. and I'm like, oh shoot, I need to eat lunch. This week it's like I drink Shakeology for breakfast and I'm like, holy smokes, I need a third breakfast.
Yes. And so it is totally 100% okay to move up to the next plan. If you are consistently hungry for 2 or more days, move up to the next plan. Because here's what would happen to me, which I'll be honest, my first 21-day fix, I was hardcore. Like, I was tired of messing around. I was tired of feeling the way I felt. And so I followed it to a T and I ate ice cream one time. That was the only thing I had out of plan the whole time. And I was so proud of myself. But I was hungry, and when you're hungry like that, your first instinct is to run and find crackers and goldfish and whatever it is that your kids have lying around, or just whatever's in the cabinet that, you know, just keep stocked up there. And so it is much better to move up a plan and then be full so that you don't have those moments where you're like hangry and just reaching for whatever. So I never, ever go back to plan A. And I remember there was even times, because my head was so stuck on plan A because I wanted to lose weight so badly, that I would try it again and it would lead to failure, because I was like, well, if I can't do plan A, then I can't do anything. And the reality is, even if you're eating plan G, they even have a plan G now, even if you're eating there, you're still eating real whole foods. And so as long as you're working out, you're not going to gain weight. You're going to either maintain or actually still even lose weight because you're eating the right foods in those calorie brackets. So, which, I don't know, plan G is a lot of food, so maybe you shouldn't eat plan G. Just for reference, there's 9 green containers with plan G. Can you even imagine? I can't even imagine. Like, who's eating that much food? Like Arnold? So there's that. You just base on that, and then make sure that if you are in doubt, move up a plan instead of down a plan. So that is my 2 cents. That happened to me with the 80-day obsession too. I was doing plan B and I was doing great, and then I was ravenous the next phase and forgot to up my calories because my muscles had also gone up. So definitely do that. And then there are food lists, and so I'm not going to go over the food list because I know you guys can read. But I will tell you that they prioritize the foods based on nutrient density. So if you're already like getting healthy points just by sticking to the food list, but you get extra healthy points if you eat from the top of the lists. So like, especially with carbs, because carbs are really easy to eat bad things. It's like, how many like pieces of pasta can I stick in this little yellow container, which is fine to do. I mean, it's on the list. But you're going to feel fuller longer and feel even more energy if you stick to the foods from the top of the list, like sweet potatoes or beans or yams or barley and all those kinds of things. Which, by the way, you guys, there is this carb on here called farro or farro. I don't really know, Farro. I just tried it the other day and it's amazing and so easy to make. So if you're looking for a new grain, that's a good one. That was just a side note. Now let's talk Shakeology really quick. Oh wait, no, that's not what I wanted to go to. I want to share my screen really quick and show you the greatest thing ever. Okay, so you're looking at all these food lists and you're thinking, oh great, what am I supposed to do? Just like stick food in these containers and just walk around, all day like this container robot? Because that's what I did when I first started. I was like, I don't know how, I want to make casseroles, but I don't know how to count them. And I want to make these meals and I don't know how to count that either. We now have, I love it so much. Let's see if I can find it. This little beauty called Fixate. And they literally have, well, first of all, they have foundational videos like how to use the containers. what to get rid of in your pantry, what to keep in your pantry, how to meal prep for 5 days. And this shows Autumn Calabrese style meal prep, which, by the way, I've meal prepped the way Autumn meal preps, which is called buffet style. But you can watch that on your own time. I'm not going to sit here and bore you with that. But then here are all of these amazing recipes, and y'all, they are video. Well, you can get the printout recipe up here in program materials, but these actually have videos with them. And I have learned so much about cooking since I started watching these videos. And so these are really, really good recipes. There's the occasional one that I try that I don't like, but it's very, very rare. So this almond crusted chicken is amazing. Oh my goodness, my kid thinks it's Chick-fil-A, and it's not at all. It's much healthier for you, but it's really, really good. And these chicken enchiladas are great. This cheesy steak skillet. I've tried so many of these recipes, and very few of them have let me down. So this is a huge tool in your arsenal, as well as the Nutrition Plus app. Once again, I'm not going to show you on my phone because it's too small. You won't be able to see it. But it's a yellow app that says Nutrition Plus, and it's a Beachbody app. If you've gotten that email from me, the link to download is in that email. If you haven't gotten it, let me know and I can send it to you. It keeps up with the containers, or keeps up with the food list of what you're supposed to be eating for the day, so that as you're eating, you just pop it right in, and the food lists are on there. Fixate is on there, so you can access Fixate not only from Beachbody On Demand, but also from the nutrition app. So it's pretty much everywhere you go now. So it's just awesome, and you can actually Chromecast it to your TV from the app as well. So that was one thing I wanted to talk about, and then I wanted to talk about Shakeology. So I make my Shakeology every day, which I go back and forth between vegan chocolate and regular chocolate and cafe latte. Those are my favorites. If you know me at all, you know I do not like vanilla. It's just not my jam. But some people love it. Like, I have one friend that coaches who that's all she's ever had is vanilla, and she's absolutely obsessed with it. But for mine, I sneak in an entire cup of spinach. And so what I do is I buy the big thing of spinach that you get, you know, like the plastic box of spinach you can get from grocery stores, and I bring it home and immediately throw it in my freezer, because that to me has the best consistency. If it's fresh, it's a little bit thicker. But if you buy the frozen spinach already, then it doesn't chop as well. So I actually buy the fresh and freeze it. That's the best way that I've done it. And I add in a cup of that to my shake every day. You cannot taste it in the chocolate and cafe latte, and that's a way for you to sneak in a veggie. It's been a lifesaver for so many people in my challenges. Then I also throw in half a frozen banana, and the way I make that easy is I actually peel all my bananas and break them in half and put them in a Tupperware container and freeze them that way. So I just literally have to pull one out, and I don't have to peel a nasty frozen banana. So there's that option too. That's how I sneak in some foods here and there. And also with Shakeology, you guys, I know I'm not going to go into this because this is not why you're here, but just so you guys know, when I first started Shakeology, I was like, there's no way I'm getting this again. I'm going to buy this challenge pack. It comes with my Shakeology cheaper, and I'm just going to do it this one time because I'm not going to pay that much money. But after my first month of it, I felt such a huge difference, not just physically, but also just kind of emotionally, anxiety-wise, and there's a reason for that, and just everything. It was just everything just felt better. I was like, I'm getting this no matter what from here on out. So I became a discount coach and then a coach. But it's non-GMO, it's organic. It's not labeled that way because if they were to actually get it certified, to get that label on there just for the name and the glory of it, it would actually raise the price even more. But we work firsthand with the farmers from these other countries where these superfoods are from to get these foods. And so it keeps costs lower by getting it straight from them without having to get them certified organic, just because, you know, some of these people are like Sacha Inchi, I believe, is in like a remote part of Brazil. And so to even get them to become organic certified, even though they are, would cost them extra money and would actually put them out of business because they couldn't afford the certification just to be organic. So that is why Shakeology is one of these things where it's like, you know, all these coaches are saying it's organic and non-GMO because it is, but we don't get it labeled that way because it would actually put these farmers out of business, and then we wouldn't even have Shakeology. It's a very, very strange and touchy subject, and we have to be really careful with that. So it is organic, non-GMO, and the nutrients are maintained through our processing of keeping the heat under 100, I think it's 112 degrees, to make sure the nutrients stay intact, so that whenever you are adding water, you're still getting all those nutrient benefits. There are healthy fats in Shakeology that help keep inflammation down there and keep your brain working at its optimal levels. There is protein in there that are from clean sources, and just so you guys know, most protein in the United States is horrible. It is junk. It is from cows that are treated with all things they shouldn't be treated with, eating non-GMO feeds. And then our vegan formula is even better because it's pea protein instead of rice protein. And pea protein is much more heavily regulated, especially ours. It goes through 60 rounds of testing before we put it into our shakes. And so I could, like I said, I could go on and on about this, but just know that you are getting a quality product, and that is why we're so obsessed with it. And additionally, it has prebiotics and probiotics. So if you're feeling a little bit more regular after all of this, you're welcome. And then we've also got adaptogens, which that's kind of a buzzword right now, but adaptogens are things that help you deal with stressors in your environment. And a lot of our ingredients have herbs and a lot of things that help you deal with stress in your environment better. So I think that's why a lot of coaches are so productive, is because we're getting this in our diet every day. But anyways, that is my just the basis of Shakeology. Like, that's barely skimming the top of why I love it so much and why I'm excited that you're going to get it in a box here on your front porch here in a few days if you haven't already got it. And then also with the performance line, that is not required either. I don't require any of those after that initial purchase, but I do recommend both. I didn't start doing Recover until the 8-Day Obsession, and I saw huge results. One of my coaches was actually like, you've done other programs before, but this one's different. What are you doing different? And I was like, I'm honestly doing Recover. And not only does it feed your muscles to help them grow, which, by the way, if your muscles are growing, your fat is shrinking. I learned that a few days ago in a webinar that I learned for some training. But then also it helps prevent muscle soreness. So if you're feeding your muscles, they recover faster. And so that protein is designed to go straight to your muscles, and it also has BCAAs, which are branched chain amino acids that also help your muscles recover quicker. So not only, that's why the protein is called Recover. And then Energize also, it's my go-to lifesaver whenever I am super tired and I don't want to do my workout, which was pretty much been every day this week. I just mix that into my water and drink it, and it's full of, once again, clean and natural ingredients. And so I don't have like the crash afterwards and all that stuff. So that is just my take on that. I use these products. I love these products, and that's why I recommend them, but I do not require them past this. And I believe I am done. I got that all in 26 minutes. Now, do you guys have any more questions for me as we get started? And I can unmute you if you need me to.
Okay, I have a question. Mine's kind of random though. We're doing a lot of traveling through the month of July, and well, I guess it's already halfway through, but like from now until school starts again, is Shakeology still good? Like if I were to make a shake and then put it in a cooler and then take it with us to St. Louis or wherever we were going, will it last overnight, or does it get, because I know some protein shakes kind of get like clumpy and gross. Is that going to be an issue with Shakeology, or do I need to like
I would recommend you like freeze it.
Okay.
So like put it in your shaker bottle and freeze it, and then just get it out to thaw as you're getting ready. And it's not because of the clumpy factor. It's just that after 30 minutes, you start actually tasting some of those healthy foods. And some of those healthy foods do not taste like chocolate. We'll just put it that way.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of a bizarre question, but it's one that I was going to ask you anyway. I'm like, I'll just do it now.
Yeah. And I have some people that it doesn't bother them. Like one of our coaches at Summit, she put it in her bottle and carried it around for like 2 hours before she drank it. And she was like, fine. But I personally like it very fresh.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah. Anything else? I know you probably have so many questions you don't know where to start for some of you. Oh my gosh, you're so cute. Hi. If you guys can't see Alexis's little boy, oh my goodness.
Can you blow kisses? Blow her kisses. She's like, no, I have a water bottle.
So cute. All right. Let me check this really quick just to make sure I didn't miss anything. I was talking so fast just so I could get it all in. One thing he did say to me that just like I just wanted to say praise and hallelujah and amen is he was talking about how food does not equal calories. So a lot of times we look like it honestly breaks my heart when I see, because my in-laws are some of the worst at this. They will pick up a food package and look right at the nutrients and say it's only such and such calories. And I'm always like, that's not what it's about. Like there's nutrients in there. What are the nutrients? And so the focus of this is for you, which I loved how Joel said this. He said, hooray for food. Like I want you to change your mindset. We celebrate food. We eat food. We love food because calories make our bodies work. We just have to make sure they're the good calories. And so a lot of time we just get in this starvation mode, especially as women. We get in this starvation mode of like, well, I could eat that extra fruit today, but that's like 25 calories in that apple and it's just not worth it and blah, blah, blah. Like, no. Don't think about that 25 calories. Think about the fuel that apple will be for you. And so yes, hooray for food. Celebrate food. I loved when he said that. Calories do count, but nutrients count more. So and we already have the whole program set out for you to where if you eat the containers or the foods on your list, then it's going to work. And I promise you it'll work, or this company would still not be off the ground, because this works for people. I love that it's about real food.
I have a question on that. So how do you break the mindset, not for me, but like for other people that I've talked to, how do you break the mindset of calories versus nutrition? Because, sorry, my family is very similar to that. They're all about like counting calories and, oh, I can't have that. It's too many calories. So how would you be graceful about like, how would you just bring that conversation up? I guess is what I'm trying to
That's a great question, because I'm still trying to figure that out, because my in-laws don't take advice. Like they just do not. So I think the first thing to say is just to be an example. Like when they start seeing that you're getting results, at first they may actually recoil at that and think, oh, well, she's probably just not eating, or she's not this. So that's why it's really important. I make it a very big deal in front of them about eating. I'm like, yes, I'm going to eat this and I get to eat that. And I need, like, for example, like I say, I need this carb right now, or I need this protein, like making it a thing about how I need that nutrient. And then when I talk about sweets, because my sweet mother-in-law, we're there a lot. She loves to make cookies and breads and cakes and all of those things. And so instead of saying, oh, I just shouldn't have that or whatever, I'll just say, oh, well, I've already had such and such today. So that way it's like I'm not depriving myself. I've had what I need for that macro. I don't use those terminologies, but I'm like, oh, I've had what I need today. I don't need any more. Or I've already gotten in this part of my diet for today, or not, I don't say today, my nutrition. We say nutrition. I've already gotten that in for my nutrition for the day, so I'm good there. He did talk about cheats. He said that he lives his life based on, he cuts the crap for 6 days. So he does cheat once a week. And he said he doesn't just eat all the food that day, but if it's Taco Tuesday and you love tacos and you want to make Tuesday your cheat day, then do that. But he was like, if your family goes and gets a donut every Saturday, like, and that donut is your one big treat for the week, then go for it. So just make sure that you plan that. But I know that there are some people that are going to watch this video, and I'm one of those people that once I have that treat, the rest of the day is a wash. So I just don't do it. I try not to. Like on National Donut Day, I was like, I'm going to go get a donut. And then I was like, not going to do it, because I know what's going to happen. As soon as I eat that donut, I'm going to think, well, I ate that donut, so I might as well have ice cream, and I might as well have a brownie, and it just goes all from there. So you kind of have to learn yourself. Some people can, like, I know there's a fitness trainer I follow. She has this little cake thing from Starbucks every single day, but she counts that in her macros, so it works for her. But if I did that, my brain would immediately flag me for failure and I'd be done for the day. So it's like, you just have to learn what works for you. And how to talk to people about the fact that you are doing something for yourself. I remember Autumn said something in 80 Day Obsession, so I'm going to close with this. But she was like, you don't owe anyone an explanation for why you're taking care of yourself. You're going to get some people that are like, why are you doing that? Why are you counting calories? Or which we're not doing. Why are you like not eating this? I mean, a lot of times that's coming from a place of where they feel like a failure, and so they're trying to drag you in with them. And you don't owe anyone. So a lot of times because usually when we're trying to work on ourselves, we're trying to help other people too. We have the tendency to say, well, I'm trying to do this and I'm trying to be better. And to be honest, you don't owe them an explanation. You can just say, I just don't want it. I don't want to do that. That's not the decision I want to make right now. It's not good for, like, I don't want it. And so when she said that, I was like, yeah, she's right. Like, I don't have to walk around like with this little healthy like icon over my head where people like see me out of a crowd. Like I genuinely sometimes have people at church that will have their donut and see me coming and be like, she's going to see me eat this donut. I'm like, guys, I don't care. You don't owe me an explanation either. So just don't let what people are thinking get to your head and make you feel like you're depriving yourself, because you're not. You're doing something really, really good for yourself. But I'm going to go ahead and go unless there's one more question. Is there any more questions? Okay, this is recorded. I will put this in our challenge group in the morning so you can go back and watch it if you missed any of it, or if you missed all of it, or just whatever. And yeah, make sure you're checking in there so that you get announcements and you get updates, because Joel will be popping in and giving me videos to give you guys here and there. So that's really cool. And that's all I've got. Are we good? Bye.